Today I'm reviewing the Honda CRF 250 Rally, new from Honda in 2017. This is Honda's take on its CRF 450 Rally, and as far as I'm concerned, I think they did a fantastic job in replicating the rally bike with a 250 engine for the road. I think it's the coolest looking 250 around. Definitely when I was a young lad I would have loved this thing. It's got all the bells and whistles on it compared to the L version. Now I've never ridden the L version, so I don't have an opinion on that because I've no experience on it. But what I can tell you is a little bit about this bike. Ridden this bike when it was brand new, and I suppose it felt, I wasn't expecting loads of power or anything like that. It felt a little bit gutless and a little bit dead, but as the miles went on and as it came up to its first service, the exhaust note got a bit fruitier, and the engine power increased. Now, not by much, but noticeably. I think it's a cracking little bike. I suppose it's aimed at newer riders, or if you have the money, this would be a great second bike. Or if you were seriously considering doing long journeys abroad or that, I don't see why you couldn't bring this. You couldn't put hard luggage on it, so with some soft luggage though, you get a tent on the back of it. There are little racks you can get for either side of it, and two small bags either side. I don't see why you couldn't travel thousands of miles in this thing. It's comfortable. It has an 895mm seat height, which goes down considerably when I'm sitting on it anyway. But I would be on the borderline obese on the BMI scale. I mean, it does 78 miles to the gallon. You know, and is that not what you want when you're heading off abroad doing long distances? You want something that's economical. It has a 10.1 litre fuel tank, which is, I think it's about 2.5 litres up on the L version. It has great wind protection. Now, I added a screen on this, and it does the job. It's got a nice bar here at the front of the screen, so you can attach a GPS or phone holder, or you know, and it's a cool piece of. It's well thought out of. The LCD display is easily read. It's got a trip meter. It's got a clock, rev counter, and a fuel gauge, which some adventure bikes don't have. And the cool feature about this also is it's got ABS, which you can switch off. Now it switches it off at the rear wheel only for when you're doing some serious off-road work, and it will do it. This thing loves the bog anyway, I can tell you that. The seat is a touch hard, but nothing that something like an aftermarket seat would sort out, a little add-on. But it goes, you know. Yeah. Not that slow. I was expecting a feeble little engine, and no, not at all. It'll sit happily on the motorway at 60, 65. When you rack it up the miles, when you get off the island here, I suppose you're not going to be hammering it because you want to conserve fuel. You can get an aftermarket rack as well for these that you can put a little fuel tank on the back of it as well. But I think that if you were travelling off-road, if you were in Spain or somewhere like that, and you had knowledge of a couple of 100 kilometers of off-road track as part of your journey to get to your destination, this is ideal. I'd have no qualms about going away on it. Lady riders will find this, without meaning to sound sexist, will find this an extremely easy bike to ride. The woman who owns this is more than happy with it, and she's come off a CB500X. Nice bike, pokier than this, but the suspension is more for the commute, in my opinion, on the CB500X. Now, you can get the Rally Red version of the CB500X, but it's going to cost you, and I still think it's probably too heavy for off-road use. I know a guy who had one, the Rally Red version of the CB500X, and he's after selling his and buying one of these. His motto is credit card and a toothbrush when he's travelling, and I get that. I suppose from having been abroad and that, you just need to be able to put up a tent and some utensils and a decent mattress, because if there's one thing you do need abroad, is a good night's sleep. Is every bit as important as taking care of your bike, taking care of yourself when you're doing a long trip, because you need to have your concentration, especially when you're abroad and you're driving on the other side of the road. Momentary lapses in concentration can have negative consequences. But this is great. You know, it really is. It's a real fun bike to ride, and it tackles all the terrain. The worse the road, the more fun. The tyres that are on this are stock. They're the Nobelis. Personally, well, depending on the riding style, but I'd like to see what sort the handling was with some more road biased tyres. It tips in quicker on the Nobelis, and I'm sure it doesn't have as much grip, especially when stopping in the wet. As I say, it has ABS. You can feel it cut in sometimes, but you know, that's what it's supposed to do. You know, it works. You don't have to worry about the modulators going on these babies. They keep going. I can't understand why some manufacturers haven't even copied the ABS modulator systems of other companies and get it right. So yeah, I like it, and I know that the owner of the bike absolutely thinks it's fantastic, and they're not expensive. As far as a new bike is concerned, here in Ireland anyway, they're 6,600 euros on the road. I mean, you got a brand new bike for 6,600. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know I've never had a brand new bike, but it gets looks everywhere it goes. Especially young lads, they love this thing. And I can see why. Like I said earlier, I would have loved to have one of these when I was starting out biking. It's got that relaxed sit up and beg riding position. You can see out over the hedges, feel more in control. You know, it's easier to ride. You know, there's nothing wrong with sports bikes. I've had my sports bikes, but I suppose as some of us get older, We like a little bit more comfort to take in the scenery, and I think you couldn't do better on one of these. This is a great little bike. I've even got my big ass over that hill. So yeah, fair play to Honda. Now, can you imagine if they'd made an 800 or a 750 version of this? I reckon they'd be all over KTM. I can't see why they couldn't. I don't know what engine they'd use though. They'd probably have to come up with something new, like Yamaha did with their XT. Its T7 is going to be coming out next year. Hopefully get to do a review on one of those. Hopefully get to own one. So the handguards do a great job of keeping the bulk of the wind off, which is always good. The owner of this complains of a little bit of vibration, 60-70 miles an hour, but I suppose that's one thing that you need to take into consideration when you're doing a long trip. I know I had a pan-European last year when I went away, and it was buzzy. I was constantly taking my hands off the bars to get the blood flow back in. But there are aftermarket sponge grips you can get, and they do eliminate some of the vibration. But you know, it's up to you. Mirrors do a good job. Not really vibey. They remind me of my old Multistrada 1000 mirrors, but the difference is you can actually see out with these ones. The rear view on the Multistrada was not good. So 26, 28 brake horsepower is the max on this, but I'm cool with that. I didn't think I would be when I got up on it, but there you have it. 6.5 grand. I haven't seen any second-hand ones on the market yet in Ireland. It'll be interesting to see how they hold their value. I can't see why not. Service intervals on this are, I think, every 6,000 miles, 5,000 miles, and they need very little maintenance. You know, if you do the maintenance when you're supposed to on these, this thing will last you for years. So there you have it. Thanks for watching my review of the CRF 250 Rally. What a great little bike. Thanks for watching, bye.